small biz pro, so we grow. Using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, folks, we're going to have a fabulous show. This is Women's History Month. Co-host, how are you doing today?
I am good. My internet is just deciding it wants
I
to act up
noticed that.
today.
It's playing games with us.
It is playing.
So my co-host Crystal is having a little technical difficulties there with her internet connection. So in the meantime, I want to remind folks, I want to welcome you to the Business Zone. And I want to remind you to go to YouTube and subscribe to the show so we can send you materials, we can send you information that can help your business. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, the Business Zone it's a small business support show. We help small businesses become business ready, contract ready, loan ready, grant ready, and financial ready. So between Crystal and I, we're able to provide you guys with key information, coaching information, advice, and all of that. So if there's anything you would like to know about business, setting up your business, making sure that you are ready, then this is the show for you. This is the number one small business show out there in the marketplace. So feel free to tune in, ask any questions. You could put your questions, your comments in the chat. And I see my co-host is back online here. So Crystal, are you good yet? So we're still having a little technical difficulties there. So with this being Women's History Month, I would love to hear a lot from many of the women entrepreneurs out there to see if you guys can let us know what's going on. Crystal, are you ready yet?
Not yet. Let me. I don't have the right background here. Hold on.
Okay. So if you're a female entrepreneur in business for any period of time, whether it's 1 year or 100 years, I'd like you guys to reach out to us and log into the show, whether you're on Facebook Live or whether you're on YouTube Live. Just put your questions in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those questions because that's what we do. We help small businesses elevate themselves so they can either obtain grants, contracts, or become certified. Now, this month,
I'm back.
Oh, there she is. This month, one of the things we're trying to do is to make sure we help more and more women-owned businesses become certified, whether it's for government contracts, local contracts, or for commercial contracts. So, co-host, are you there?
I am.
All righty then.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All righty. I'm trying to get sorry guys. I don't know what's happening today, but I'm trying to get Dawn the link. Oh wait, she should be here because I see her connected. Our guest today. But anyway, welcome everyone. Happy Women's Month, International Women's Month. It's been pretty amazing, Gilbert. Yesterday on the community briefing, we had Colette Moore. We highlighted Colette Moore. We highlighted Omni Livingston, and we highlighted Fedora. And who else did we highlight? There was 4 women. Bianca.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah, Bianca. And oh my God, it was just great. And then we actually had everyone do a 30-second commercial.
We should probably put that up on our website and make it available for the public so they can hear what those phenomenal women had to say.
Yes, it was pretty awesome, and it was great. It was a great day. It was a great, last week we did a show on women, and we really emphasized how many women have actually started businesses, how many women have Don is asking me where the link is, and my computer has decided to be super slow today. It's insane. um,
So what we found out from last week, Crystal, what you said last week was that of all the new businesses that enter the marketplace, 49% of those were women-owned businesses, right?
Yes, 40, yes, exactly. And that's really what we were highlighting yesterday. Here, the women that we were actually had on the show, all of these women are in a male dominated industry, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's not easy when you as a female are operating in a male dominated industry, but all of them have created a very successful business for
Mm-hmm.
themselves, and um not just doing business, but so have philanthropy components to their business. They're also doing good and making impacts within their community to make it a better place for themselves and for their employees. And so I was just so impressed, but you know them, so you know how impressive all of those women are.
Oh, yes, definitely. And the marketplace has classified women-owned businesses that has generated $1 billion or more as unicorns. But I would like to classify women-owned businesses that are operating in a male-dominant industry as unicorns themselves, because it's not really easy to operate in an environment when you got the good old boy network, slamming you, shutting you down, stepping on your throat, all of that good stuff.
Right, exactly. Because as you know, Gilbert, in the construction industry, in a male dominated industry,
Mm-hmm.
they're handing out contracts to their buddies, to their
Oh yeah.
friends.
Oh yeah.
So for all of these young ladies, and they're not doing like they're doing major construction. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was just so impressed with all of them that it was incredible. I'm just impressed with them.
Right, right, right. And one of the things I've seen also, even in the nonprofit industry, I've seen folks, the good old boy network at its best too, where folks bring in their friends to be a part of organizations, even if their friends have no background, no knowledge, about the population, about the services to be provided to that key population. We see that too, so it's like it's all over the place. It's an epidemic. This is this is what we're probably going to call this COVID 2021, 22, because it's an epidemic, man. It's keep going on and on and on. When does it stop? The way it stops is for people like us to get involved and say, hey, no more. We're operating towards the dispossessed, the women who don't get opportunities, the women who are shut out from opportunities, and try to help them up.
Exactly. And women, and as it said, women are very committed. We even talked about last week how women, even lenders are seeing women as very viable um, uh, businesses to invest in because of the fact that they're very committed and they're and one of the things that I've noticed, Gilbert, in throughout this pandemic, and even now we're not post-pandemic, but we're on the other backside of it. The women that are in our programs right now, how many men are actually in the Navigator program?
So we have, you mean men and women?
Yeah, the ratio between men and women in the program that you're teaching over at the Urban
I
League.
could give you that data in about 5 minutes. So I'll do some calculations for you. That's a good question you asked, though. That's a very good question. So
Because I know the businesses that I'm counseling on or coaching, most majority of them are women. Hey, Greg, how are you? Big props to succeed in those industrial industries. Talk about beating the odds. You are absolutely right. And Greg, yesterday, were we not impressed, Greg? with what was going on yesterday with these ladies.
Hey,
So
Greg, how you doing,
inspiring.
buddy? Welcome to the Business Zone.
Yeah, so inspiring. But yeah, I've noticed that I have done more counseling, coaching of women than I have of men in the last 2 years since the pandemic, and we have been hot and heavy. Oh, Don has finally made it. Donnie, we will have you on in about 5 minutes. um, um, it's it's been more women, and so it just goes to show that there probably been more women that have launched businesses, or at least stepping up to the plate, or maybe I don't know. I guess that's a research thing that we need to do, is find out why there seems to be more women involved in the classes than there are men.
Well, part of that reason, Crystal, is, like we discussed last week, is the fact that we have this big, great resignation where folks are resigning from their jobs because they're not being rewarded, they're not being paid what they're worth. And most of those folks who are resigning in the big resignation are women. So as a result of that, you see more and more women are becoming entrepreneurs, because they're going, hey,
Mm,
I'm slaving myself, I'm giving away my labor, and I'm not getting compensated for it. So why not go start my own thing where I can really feel like I'm getting a reward, and the sky's the limit. So that's why you're seeing more and more women. And you remember we talked about women and immigrants are the ones who
yes,
really become entrepreneurs because their backs are against the wall, and the best way out is to become their own bosses, own their own business. So that's why you're
right.
seeing more and more women becoming entrepreneurs right there. They're sick of
Okay.
having corporate America step on their throats. you know.
Mm. And they are also the ones that, one thing that was, if we're looking for a positive or a pro versus a con during the pandemic, their children, they're the ones that usually have to make sure that there's childcare for their kids,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so by having um your own business, you kind of open yourself up. You provide your a more flexible time frame, so you can go pick your children up from school, you can go to the school and see about the kids,
yeah,
whereas when you're working a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 6 or whatever, when you're working for the man, as they say,
yeah.
you have to conform to the hour. Just can't pick up and leave,
Right.
and it's frowned upon if you're in a leadership position in a corporation, that one, you have to be that female to go off and go take care of your kids. We can't depend on you being here 24/7. When we need you, you
Right.
have to divide yourself between your family and the workplace. And I think, that's a big factor right now, is being able to have that workplace balance. That's so important to everyone right now. And
Yeah.
that's really one of the big takeaways from the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that I have time for myself in
Right.
addition to taking care of business. And so
Yeah.
I know for me, I'm an entrepreneur because it gives me flexibility of time. It gives me my own time.
Right.
I'm in control of my life, not somebody else. I'm in control of my life, and
and
so that's
and
important.
and women tend to be more nurturers in the family, so because of them being the nurturers, they have to be able to do that on their own time instead of being given a window in which to operate. Because when
Yeah,
you're at home operating with a family, you've got kids and all of that, there's no time frame to that. Things happen when you least expect, and you got to respond to it. So being an entrepreneur, then you can build and operate around that time frame. So you're going to see more and more women becoming involved in entrepreneurship, and those numbers are going to become better. The ones that I really really want to see start getting much better are the number of women who get contracts. Right now they're at 4%,
yeah,
4 or 5%. The number of women who investors invest in is at 7%. We want to see that elevate some more, because again, like you said last week, the banks and lenders are hesitant to lend to women-owned businesses. However, those businesses tend to be the ones who are more responsible with the loans that they get. Right? They pay back, and then they try to manage it more efficiently and effectively, because they do know that, hey, if I mess this up, I'm not going to get another chance to get a line of credit or a loan. So it's just amazing.
Right.
The trend is moving in that direction.
Yes, it is. And so it's a good time for being a woman in business. And so we have today as our guest, and we're going to bring her on in a second. This young lady, I tell you, she has worked hard at her business, and I've known her for a number of years now. And someone in the trenches, she has really accomplished so much. And I think the pandemic was awesome for her, because she was able to get her online courses up in that time frame. She's written 3 books. I wish I could say that I had used that time frame to write 4 books. 4 books. She's an entrepreneur. She's a celebrity fitness trainer.
You gotta be careful, Crystal. She's taking away that superwoman mantle from you now, because she's doing all those things.
We can share. She's superwoman in her space, and literally superwoman in her space.
So we're gonna have to get another cape then. All right.
Yeah, she gotta have a cape. She's celebrating her birthday. She's here to talk about her new books that she is dropping this weekend. She's talking to women, and including herself, of being fabulously over 50 and fit. And so with that, I am going to bring on Miss Dawn Strozier. She is absolutely incredible. Hey, Dawn.
Hello.
And she's my friend.
I gotta say this, man. I really did not know that she was 50. I thought she was like 42 or somewhere around there. But 50? Holy moly. 52? Holy moly. Girl, they said black don't crack, so you're an example of that.
Listen. Not only does it not crack, it rarely gets ashy, okay?
Well, welcome to the Business Zone, Dawn.
Thank you for having me.
We are so happy. Happy birthday, Dawn. I know I came early this year because I got confused, but that's okay. You get a happy birthday blessings from me twice this week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm super excited. I am excited. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so for those of our listeners who are listening to you and seeing you for the first time, don't know who Dawn Strozier is, why don't you tell them a little bit about who Dawn Strozier is?
Okay. Well, I am an entrepreneur first. I started as an entrepreneur when I was 23 years young as a personal trainer, nutrition consultant, and now I am an author. I absolutely love what I do. I really, really do. However, I am looking forward to reinventing myself to whatever God has for me next within this $1 trillion industry, of course. But I've been training, and I had the pleasure of training some amazing people. And what else can I say? It's good. It's really good. For about 6 years, I had a gym. No, I had a gym longer than that. I had a gym for 12 years total. My last gym was located on Crenshaw, even though it was really somewhat like the first gym, because we moved from one location to the other in about a week. But God allowed me to maintain a gym for about 16 years, and it was fabulous. I transitioned from that into onto my online platform, and now I'm writing some books, and that's what we're here to talk about. So that's pretty much me.
Very good, very good.
This is a person is so committed to health, and I've been part of her fitness programs as well. She ain't no joke, Gilbert. She works you hard, man.
Oh, I
And I
know.
am I'm not a morning person, and she had me working hard at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I
And
know.
but she is so committed to making sure that you are fit, but not just fit, but healthy. It's not for her, it's beyond than just going and lifting some weights. She actually wants to make sure that you're eating right, that you're flexible, that you're doing exercises safely for your body. And
Yes.
now she's focusing on us old ladies.
Hold on now. Ain't nothing about me old, so let's.
Not you,
No,
us,
you ain't old.
not you.
You're not. Oh no, not with all this energy you bring to the table. No, you are. You cannot be superwoman and old. You are not old. But I do want to say, I developed another passion for helping women over 50 because when I turned 50, it was shocking to me. It was shocking, and my doctor said, he said, no, you're still above average. Ladies, I just want to tell you, 50s begin in your 20s, in your 30s, and in your 40s. That's what prepares you to be at your best at the age of 50. What your body goes through has nothing to do with you working out. Nothing. You cannot. There's no exercise. There's no pill. Nothing can stop those estrogen levels from falling. It's real. It will happen. Luckily, I've been operating at a level out of 1 to 10. I've been operating, my energy has been at level 15. Because most people won't do what I do. I love the way health feels. So I don't like eating a variety of food. I eat the same thing every single day because I can count on my energy levels being here. And what happened was when my body began to slow down as I turned 50, my doctor said, welcome to normal, because I was up here for so long. Now I'm still here because of just the way that I eat. But the way that I eat allowed this transition to take place. It was shocking, but I was able to deal with it. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
if you're not making the best diet choices, if you're not exercising, this thing called 50, 51, and 52 is going to hit you like a truck, and you are not going to know what to do.
Crystal, she got that contagious laugh that whenever she laughs, it makes you laugh too.
Right. So Don,
So, go
I'm
ahead,
sorry,
Crystal.
Gilbert.
Go ahead.
One of the things, when you hit that 50 mark, of course, menopause is like right there. Actually, it was breathing on you at 45, but by the time you get to 50, it really just wreaks havoc. And for the average people, us average ones that haven't been eating like you have, all of a sudden you look at something and the weight just appears, and it's so hard to get off. So what can we do, or what can women do that are approaching 50 or at 50 and their energy levels are low, their weight is just sticking to them like glue? What can we do in order to counteract the normal changing of our bodies and our hormones?
You got to make a decision first. You have to make a commitment to get up every single day and get moving. What will help you is getting those good dopamine going in your brain. That's going to help you feel more alive. It's going to help you feel more energetic, and it's going to help you to move better, to feel better. Does that make sense? So the best thing that you can do is first get moving. Our bodies were meant to move. They were not meant to sit and be stagnant. You have to get moving. That is what creates a good happy in your mind. That's what gets all of your cells in your body functioning at the optimal level. So you need to first get moving. And secondly, you need to make a commitment to cleaning up your diet. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but there are some small things that you can do to help you feel absolutely amazing. Remember, carbohydrates are not our enemy. They just need to be eaten in perspective to what they do for our bodies. That's your get up and go. That's your energy foods. And if you don't burn it off, it's going to store as fat. But what I learned turning 50, and this is what my ebook is about, Over 50 and Fit, what I learned is even me in the best shape of my life, you cannot eat the same. You cannot.
Did we lose her?
Did we lose sound? And we lost her sound or our sound?
I
Something
think it's
happened
her
here.
sound. Yeah, let's let her
Don,
know it's her sound.
we lost your sound, Don.
Don, we can't hear you. Your microphone probably fell, Don. Check your
Let me
microphone.
see. Let me see. Something happened. Oh, microphone. Check your microphone. Can you hear us? She can't hear us either, I don't think.
No.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, but she can't hear us. So I think the message you sent was to me and not to her.
Oh, I put it in the private chat.
Oh,
Check
okay.
your microphone. Yeah, we can't hear you. Can you hear us? Go here in the audio section and make sure that your phone is chosen. Can you hear us?
It's not
Check.
on mute.
There you go. Then
Oh,
we got
now
you.
we can hear you.
Yes, now we got you.
Can you hear me? Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes. Can you hear us? Yes, we can hear you.
I don't think
What
she
happened?
can hear
I
us.
don't know what to do.
Hold on a second. We can hear you.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, let me see if I can chat.
You want to take a break, Crystal, and see if she can
We
get her
can hear
microphone in
you.
order.
Let me see. We can hear. I'm a send her. Okay, she came off. What happened? It is just. This is the first time in. Oh, there she is.
You know.
Okay, can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
I don't know what happened.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Beautiful,
Okay,
beautiful.
cool.
So we miss all that great package of nuggets you were dishing out. So tell us a little bit about the type of food. Do you offer food, health food to your clients?
Let me say this. So you didn't hear anything I said?
Well, the last minute and a half we didn't hear.
Did you hear when I talked about carbohydrates?
Yes, we
No.
heard that.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't hear that, Crystal?
No, I didn't
heard
hear
it.
that.
Okay.
Okay.
So one of the things you can do to make 50, you enter 50 graciously is you got to get up and move your body. You heard me say how important it is for you to move.
Yes.
Our bodies are not meant to sit still. So you need to get moving. And getting moving will create that happy space in your head. It's called the dopamine. It will create dopamine in your brain that will make you feel alive, more vibrant, energetic. You need to be doing it every day. And as you do that, your body will begin to look for it. It will look for it. And another thing is our bodies are used to being on a schedule. So just like you train a little kid, you have to retrain your body. I had to retrain my body to get on a schedule. And every single morning, my body was looking for the good dopamine to help me have energy, to help me be more vibrant and more alive. So 6 a.m. in the morning, I am training. 5 in the morning, I am training. And that excitement carries me throughout the rest of the day. And then I mentioned you cannot feed your body the same way you ate when you were in your 30s and your 40s. You have to start feeding your body differently. You do not need a diet that's high in carbs. Carbs are not your enemy, but they are they're your friend when you eat them according to what happened. When you eat them, when you keep it into perspective. So I want to encourage you to lighten up on your carbohydrates. That's the one thing you can do, is lighten up on your carbs and watch your body start to make some amazing changes.
Now, what can you define for majority of us? What are carbs? Would that be obviously candy, ice cream, things like that? But whatever,
Sugar.
what else falls?
Carbohydrates
sugar?
are your starchy foods: pasta, beans, rice, potatoes, bread, fruit. I call it a carbohydrate because it turns into sugar in the body, which is the same thing that bread does, or French fries. Those things turn into sugar. So because they do the same thing, even though fruit is a natural sugar, if you don't burn it off, that sugar is still going to store in your body as fat. What's exciting about fruit? Some fruit is high in fiber, which helps your body to digest and process as energy so that you can use it more. So that's the good thing about fruit. However, I look at a piece of fruit just as if I'm having a piece of bread. So if that makes sense to you, let me give you an example. When I sit down for breakfast, my breakfast is probably my biggest meal, and breakfast is whenever I decide to break my fast. I'll have my carbohydrate, either a piece of fruit or some oatmeal. That is a carb that is on my plate. I'll have some protein, which is my meat, and I'll make sure I have something green, which is if I'm having an omelet, it's my egg whites. The green stuff would be my vegetables that go into my egg white, my spinach. My fruit would be my carbohydrate or oatmeal. I'll do either or. I will not do both. Or I'll do half and half. A portion size is a palm of your hand or a clenched fist. So I'll do half carbohydrates and half of an apple. Or I'll do mostly oatmeal, right? Mostly oatmeal, and then I'll slice up a little bit of apple on top if I want both. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And is there a certain amount of calories that one should be consuming on a daily basis?
That's relative to your weight. So you don't necessarily have to count calories. I don't teach counting calories. I talk about it in my book, though. I talk about calorie counting. I don't necessarily count calories because and I teach my clients to make it a way of life. So if my carbohydrates are low enough, I don't have to count calories. However, it's important to count calories. It just depends. A diet is about 2,000 calories a day. So if you're counting calories, Weight Watchers works because when they count calories, you can eat what you want as long as you don't go over 2,000 calories. However, if I eat one piece of pie, usually that piece of pie is 2,000 calories and I can't eat anything else.
Wow.
So, I don't suggest counting calories. I suggest look at your food. Everything you eat should make the statement, I plan to live, make healthy choices, and lower your carbohydrate intake just a little bit. You can eat as much meat and vegetables as you like. I do carbs maybe once a day, twice a day at the most.
Okay. So, and then movement means 30 minutes. I've been reading lately that a minimum of 30 minutes if you're going to do that daily. What do you recommend in order to maintain flexibility and a healthy lifestyle?
So maintaining is one thing. If you want to get in shape, you're going to have to go for it. If you're looking to drop some weight, you're going to have to move. And some of us need 30 minutes. Once you get in shape, you can maintain with 30 minutes. And it depends on the type of workout. I like to do a HIIT training, high intensity interval training, and high intensity is relative to you. So if I'm going to do jumping jacks and I do jumping jacks like this, okay, I may need more than 30 minutes. That may not be enough to even move the needle. Does that make sense? So I need you to push it. Within your 30 minutes of exercise, I need you, if you're sitting in your chair and you're doing a low impact exercise, this is high intensity, right? So I may be high intensity walking. All right? I may be able to get away with 30 minutes of that. But 30 minutes and 30 minutes
looking pretty while you're exercising.
Now, if you have a hard time moving, that may be okay. So it's relative. Okay. You know in 30 minutes you've done a good 30-minute workout. Okay. And you know when you have not. So just be honest with yourself. If you're gonna do 30 minutes, I need you to move. High intensity, 30 minutes, jumping jacks for 30 seconds, go all out. Take a 30-second break. High knees in your chair, go all out. Whatever that is for you, take a 30-second break. You can do that for 30 minutes and get some results. As long as you don't go have ice cream afterwards.
Ooh. So tell us about your books. I am just so envious and so jealous that you got not just one book, but 4 books.
Okay, so my book Over 50 and Fit is an ebook. And it tells about my story of when I turned 50 and how I had to relearn my body. Because I want to share with women it is possible for you to be in shape and for you to be fit and for you to build lean muscle after 50. They say the older you get, the harder it is for you to build lean muscle. That is true. However, if you are exercising in a proper fashion and you are eating properly to build your body to build your body, the protein needs to build the muscle, you can do it. You can be as fit as you want to be at 50 years young. So that's my ebook. I also wrote an ebook to complement that one that has all of the exercises in it, and it also has all of the exercises and my 30 days of diet of eating. That is going to actually come out in another 15 days. I'm just rolling my stuff out one at a time. I need you to, because I need you to read the story. That's my over 50 and fit.
Okay.
And then later you can come back and buy the bundle, because you need to understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
And the horse.
And these books are available on your website, or are they available? And we're looking at your site now. Are you okay?
Are they on
my
Amazon?
website. Excuse me?
Are they on
Are they on-
Amazon? Or you're both Amazon and your site?
No, I'm not doing. It's not on Amazon. It's on DawnStrozier.com.
Okay.
DawnStrozier.com. You can go get my over 50 and fit book, and you can get my journal. This is my fitness journal. There's a quote that said, "What gets measured gets done." You need to track your success. So, because one reason why I believe journaling is important is because when I don't reach my goal at the end of the week, I can go back to my journal. I can go back to my papers and look and see why. I can realistically see how many times I made it into the gym. I can see the exercises I did. I can see how well I ate. So I have a journal. Can you see it?
We can.
My win journal. Look at that detail. Look at that. It's a win. It's about you winning. So
I am so proud of you.
The journal, it's exciting. You get a chance to put in your before picture, your goal picture, and your after. This is why you must, why you will, and why you need to get in the best shape. This is your why, because you need to identify your why in order to keep going in anything you do. This is where you, every week, this is a 6-week journal. You can write down your weight each week, every Saturday. And this is your commitment to winning. So let me show you what I like about this journal. It's 4 pages to a day. This is your win quote. It's time to win by Dawn Strozier. Then you open up and you have your nutritional side. This is your nutritional side with everything you need to win nutritionally. You wake up with, write down what you're grateful for. There's your food, there's your focus, monitor your mood, all of what you eat, all your nutritional value. And then you have a tip. I have a nutritional tip, a fitness tip, and a wellness tip throughout the journal. Then your other side is your cardio. Your cardio, you rate your day. But before you go to bed, you prepare for tomorrow's win. You write down all of your wins for that day, all of your bad habits, what you need to replace them with over here. And then you sit down, you write down, you prepare yourself for tomorrow's win. So this is the journal. I'm super excited about it. In the back of the journal is probably my favorite part. You have a 30-day workout you can participate in if you like to. 30-day workout. And here's a picture of me doing all the exercises. And here's the workouts here for 30 days. It's really exciting. I'm super excited about it.
I'm going to order mine. I'm going to order mine. Dawn, one of the things that when we were going through COVID, one of the things that was really apparent was that those individuals that were not in great health or had underlying conditions had the hardest time fighting through the COVID, and some of them didn't make it at all. So has there been a more of an influx in your business from people that want to get into shape and want to make sure that their bodies are prepared for whatever catastrophe is about to hit it?
Absolutely. I think this is one of the best careers to be in during this time. People are scared, they're afraid, and they are more committed than ever to take better care of their health. And unfortunately, this was a result of COVID. It's sad, but it got a lot of people's attention. It's extremely important for you to make sure you're taking the best possible care of your health. Those underlying issues play a factor. And what's scary is there's some underlying issues that you don't even know are there. One of my closest friends had no idea that Parkinson's disease ran his family. So when he got COVID, Parkinson's came up. Now, Parkinson's is a disease that shows up in your 80s, later in life. So we're talking about a 50-year-old man. I know 2 of them that are shaking.
Wow.
Because COVID brought that to the forefront. Some other diseases that some of my friends were not aware that they even had in their history came forward. So you don't know what's really going on. So the best way is to take care of your health now, just in case we're facing COVID again next winter.
Right. It was eye-opening for a lot of people.
Yes.
I know I really start working on, being much more focused on getting up and moving and exercising. And because COVID, I like the dancing and movement.
Yes.
That's my movement. And so, of course, all of that shut down during the pandemic. The only thing I had was tennis, because we were still we were able to go out there in smaller groups, but I couldn't go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hard. It was, then for me, I didn't get COVID until recently, and by that time it was the Omicron, and so it was really short and sweet for me, and it was more like having a light summer cold. But what I did experience during the pandemic was all kinds of aches and pains and sciatica and you name it, man. It was like trying to take over my body.
Right. Well, let me say, I did have the virus when they didn't know what it was. March the 18th is when they actually made the announcement. I had it that year when I opened my, I had it that year in January, the end of January. One of my clients' fathers came back from Singapore, and he got the whole entire family sick. And I don't want to say what happened to the family, but I'm sure you can assume. But I got sick as well, and being in the best shape of my life during that time, I do remember maybe at a level 1 or 2, I was like, am I breathing funny? I remember that. And I went to the doctor and I said, well, my client says she has pneumonia. The doctor said, you got the super flu. And so I said, okay, but their end result for them wasn't good at all. And I went back to the doctor, and he said, no, I think you have this new virus. I think you had that new virus they were talking about. What my symptoms were is for maybe a whole week. It was no maybe. For a whole entire week, I had a horrible headache. When I walked, my head hurt. It was crazy, but I still showed up at the gym to train my clients. We still trained. I had no choice. I had to run my studio classes, but my head hurt so bad. And then the day, maybe my last day, is when I felt like my breathing was affected slightly. But other than that, was great. But to watch my 2 friends, suffer from January all the way to April and May was hard for me. 2 of my clients wasn't good.
Yeah, so many people were, like you said, you didn't understand what was going on. Like I said, my family was pretty lucky until about 2-3 weeks ago, and we got it, but it was just light. But we were taking, we were out in the sun, we were working in our garden, my brother-in-law, we were walking, we were doing all these things to counteract it during the pandemic. And then on the tail end, like a month or so ago, we got it, but it was just, we literally stayed quarantined for 12 days, but my symptoms probably were sneezing, a little cough, not a lot, more runny nose, but I have been working on my health, eating right, and doing things like that. Mr. Gilbert up there, he wasn't quite as successful with that. He actually also had COVID, but he got really ill. I think he's, we don't have him. He seems to be frozen.
I went to the devil's door, Dawn. I was knocking, but he wouldn't come let me in.
Right. You go to the devil's door. You was at heaven's stairway, and God told you no, not yet. I'm not ready for you.
He said, no, you still got to go through Dawn's routine with her, those burpees and all that.
Listen, Gilbert, it's about getting your body prepared for whatever comes your way, getting your respiratory, your lungs, getting your body ready. It's not even about how you look. It's not about how you look.
I think that's why Crystal didn't get too sick, because she's been preparing herself, mentally and otherwise. So
and then Crystal's her cardiovascular condition will surprise you.
Yeah.
So it's a beast. Zupa's no joke.
Plus, she plays tennis all the time, so she got that lung action going. You know, all of that stuff. So, it didn't impact her at all.
No, I
Right.
didn't get
Praise
with
God.
Gilbert was in actually physically in the hospital. I was so
Yeah,
worried about him, Don.
yeah,
When he also had a really bad headache when I called him
Wow.
yeah,
right after the holidays because he got it around Thanksgiving. And I
yeah.
called him, and Gilbert rarely ever is sick. I've known
That's
Gilbert for
true.
what, almost 7, 8 years now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have
that's true.
never heard Gilbert say that he was ill. Never.
That's
I've
true.
heard him say he was tired, but I never heard him. But his voice, and he says, "I got this headache,
Mhm.
and it just won't go away."
Mm-hmm.
And then over the next couple of days, I told him to go get tested, and then his voice sounded so weak. I'm like,
Yeah,
"You need to get up right now and go to the hospital." And so he
yes.
did go, and we almost lost my friend up here. He had
Yeah,
pneumonia,
I heard about it,
and he
Gilbert, and I was
yeah.
praying for you. I was
Thank
praying for you.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate all the angels who are out there rooting for me. You, Crystal, and the other crew. Some people I didn't even know, knew me and care about me. They were praying too. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, prayer works. And
Yeah,
let me say this. I wrote another book that goes along with my journal. It's called Fit to Win, Creating a Lifestyle of Winning. It's about being fit in every area of your life.
yeah,
And I am so excited about this book. It's really great. It's a good book. This one actually will be coming out towards the end of the month after I launch the other book. But this book talks about being spiritually fit, mentally and emotional fit to show up for yourself when you don't feel like it. It talks about being nutritionally ready to operate the optimal level of health. Being fit is not just about being physically fit, but it's about being fit from the inside out. We also talk about your finances in here. It's a really good book.
I have
I
I have a recommendation for you, Don. And you heard of Noom, right? NOOM. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a health program, right?
Yeah.
I think that they could benefit from that journal that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you should license it to them.
Okay.
So then you can make some money out of it too, because they're doing this big marketing campaign. So they're spending dollars. So this is dollars that you wouldn't have to spend, but you could get the residual in form of licensing fees. So just think about it. Think about it.
That sounds
and I
good.
think, and
Because
I also
I like
think
the journal idea. I really like it. It's unique. It's different. I haven't seen anyone with that. So I think that would be a hit. That would be a hit.
Thank you. It's actually done incredibly well.
Good.
And I think also, Don, COVID was an eye opener for a lot of people.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, they realized that, oh my God, my life could be on the line, and they didn't ask for it. I mean, heck, wasn't even like you were uh your exposure could happen walking past someone in the
Yeah.
supermarket, and
Yeah.
the one common denominator was those underlying health conditions that a person may have, and they may have, and you don't know it. But if one of the things that I do know about as a person, I'm not like the beast that you are, Don, when it comes to exercise. But the one thing I do know is when I exercise, my body does feel so much better. When I sit, and which is what happened during the pandemic, just sitting, you get all cramped up and everything hurts.
Right.
So that's what forces me to get up and exercise. Even if I'm tired and don't want to, the fact that my body is hurting and forcing me to get up and move it was important. I mean, even Gilbert, after he recovered, Gilbert has gone for walks around the park. Girl, I didn't think I'd ever hear Gilbert say, he went for a walk.
That's
Oh
awesome,
yes.
Gilbert. I'm so excited. I'm
Yes.
glad you're moving.
And believe me, Don, while I was out there walking, I was thinking about you because I remember you were telling me you need to do this. You need to do this. So I was thinking you were right in the back of my head while I'm walking. So
Oh.
so your motivation is powerful. It's there. It's
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, and this is a good time for, because as I said, everybody's eyes is open. Everybody wants to make sure that they're healthy, that they can live, because there's a lot of people that passed away from COVID, and just a little bit of exercise prior to that may have kept them on this planet, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So this is a good time to launch a book and to tell your story. And I know for women, I went hot air ballooning with my girlfriend last week. And so it was so funny. Here all of us are there. I'm probably the only one that exercises. And like I said, I'm nowhere near you, but I do try to get up. I do try to move my body at least 3 times a week. Right. My friends, on the other hand, they're not into exercising at all, right? So we come up to the balloon. There's no door to get into the balloon. Oh, wow. You have to like climb. You have these little cubby holes. You have to put your foot in. You got to swing your leg over to get down into the balloon, right?
Are you serious?
I cannot tell you how many of them had a challenge with stepping in and swinging the leg over.
It was nothing for you though, right, Crystal?
No, I just put my foot in, just jumped in, and then coming out, put my foot in, swung that leg over. Everybody else, I was helping push up. Like, get your leg up. And they're like, I can't. Get your leg up. Those are things.
Crystal is a warrior. She make things happen, man.
Yes, she
make things happen. Yes.
Crystal's a beast in her own right. And Superwoman. Yes, she is.
Yes, definitely. Well, Don, I'm very happy you're doing so well with your book, man. This is great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
And her whole program, she's worked hard at this. And you've been doing this for how long? How long have you been in the fitness business?
Since I was 23.
Yeah, that's a long time, and committed to it.
But look, what's giving me longevity is being able to reinvent myself. That's it. People who can reinvent themselves. It's a $1 trillion industry. We can make some money in this industry.
So what's the next?
People,
What's the next step for you, Don?
Right, I'm speaking. Well, it's not the next step. It's just what I've been doing. It's just what I've been doing. Just doing it differently, doing it a little smarter. So I have an online platform that I actually was doing prior to the pandemic. The pandemic just brought it alive for me. Brought it alive. So I have clients in different states. So it's just to build that. And it's I started this industry, believe it or not, with Les Brown speaking on health and wellness. Because if you know my story, I was diagnosed with a heart disease, and I started making better diet choices. I was working out, but it was me telling people about something as simple as changing your diet can change your life, the quality of your life forever. It was sharing that story that really got me where I was. And then I was doing that first at $2,500 a talk. And then I got a call for my training that took me away at $10,000 a month. So that's how I got to the training. But I started in this health and wellness industry, telling people about making better diet choices. So I'm just going full circle. I got some paid engagements coming up. I get to share with people the gospel of health that I'm truly excited about sharing. And I got an event tomorrow at the last end. The lady called me and asked me, could I exercise? And I was like, I guess so. So I'm speaking and working some people out. And writing more books, creating more content.
Wow. So you have more books. See, there you go. See, Gilbert, we haven't even written the first book.
I haven't even written the first one yet, man.
No, but look, Crystal, we sat down one day and Crystal, she had so much information. It was all 20 chapters for her.
Oh yeah. She got content.
I wish I just had the tape recorder rolling, but Crystal, let me just say to you, I wrote 20 chapters in this book right here. 20 chapters. I wrote them, and it was awesome. I say that because when I got the information out, I cried. It was great. You got more than 20 chapters than you, Crystal. You got 20 chapters across 5 or 4 different books, different subjects. And when you get one of them out, you go exhale, girl.
I guess for me, it's where it's like if I was coming up to a blank canvas and saying, okay, I'm gonna paint a picture. It's where do you start? And I think we've had this conversation before.
So I wanna
where
help
do
you
you
with that.
start to move
It's
forward?
easy.
To
I'm gonna
get
help
the
you with
book
that.
written? Okay.
Let me tell you what to start. This is how you start. How you start. Les Brown, who was my mentor, I co-authored 2 books with him prior to any of these. I co-authored Unleash the Leader Within You. I talked about leadership, and Unleash the Winner with You in you. And I talked about Unleash Your Fitness Vision. And I talked about unleashing the vision you have for yourself, being the best shape of your life. Those are the 2 books I co-authored, one with Les Brown and one with James Melanchek. But Les was in both. So in writing 20 chapters, this is what Les said. He had me write down my possible table of contents. This is the easiest way to start. You know all the information. So one of them was nutrition, one was fitness, and what I'm going to write on nutrition. I knew I wanted to write about the power of juicing and blending. So under nutrition, I had one subtitle. What am I going to talk about under exercise? I knew I wanted to talk about HIIT training, high intensity interval training versus regular cardiovascular exercise. So that was another tab underneath that. And then I wrote out all the other possible chapters. And then he told me, start where you have the most information. What was that? Nutrition and fitness. I started there. And once I pinned those, they led to creating the other chapters. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So when you start writing, you'll start loving writing. And then also, I set a time to write every single day. Every single day. At 8 o'clock, I finished work, I sat down, and I wrote. Now, my table of contents, the actual titles changed, but the information pretty much stayed the same. After I wrote, then I picked out better titles for each subject. I wrote a topic called Winning by Quitting. I wrote the information first, and I changed the title of that chapter to Winning by Quitting because of what I had in the information. But I knew I wanted to talk about changing your habits, replacing bad habits with old habits. And then I titled it Winning by Quitting. Does that make sense? So that is how I started. And that was easy. Once I started writing, I set a time every single day, if not every day, every other day. And if you can't write, talking to your tape recorder and transcribe it later. But once you start, it's going to become very, very easy. Very easy.
All right. I think I'm gonna try the recording, and just because if I'm in the car or sitting instead of watching television, just so write out my titles and then just start to narrate the titles and then get it down on paper. Gilbert, you got books in you, man. You got as many as I do.
That is true.
No
You
doubt.
know, I started the other day, just like you and Don mentioned earlier. I was at a bank waiting, I don't remember, in a parking lot, and I just start speaking in my phone in the recorder. Just start narrating a process in business, and that's a chapter right there. You see what I'm saying? So
let me tell you what was the most effective thing for me is when I set a scheduled time.
Yeah.
That's the most, because that you can when you're doing stuff and you're moving around, you get bits and pieces here.
Yeah.
So when I set a time, I sat down, I got a whole chapter.
Yeah.
The difference. And talking to your tape recorder as you're moving around, you get bits and pieces here.
Yeah.
And then you got to go back and you look at all this stuff. Because I tried that once. All these different little bits I got to transcribe.
Yeah.
But when I sat down, I got a whole hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes a difference. Commit yourself every day to doing a little bit and watch a whole lot of get done.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with mine right now. Mine, I've got content, bits and pieces of contents. I just need to bring them together and, cover all the chapters. But we're there.
Better than me. You're better than I am. You have something.
I'm about to sit down with Krista. Krista got videotaped, what do you call it? Workshops that we can turn into a book. I'm gonna sit down with her and I'm gonna get this done for Crystal, because Crystal is you and Crystal, such a big, important piece in this community. I need you to write it out, because then we have it and I can look. constantly at your thoughts.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can save more lives, more businesses, help more people.
That's
if I
true.
get you to put that stuff into print. Because now I have it
That's
every
true.
single day to
Yeah.
go through step by step. Can you do that for me?
Oh yeah, I definitely can. And plus, I've done a lot of interviews with Crystal too, so I think a lot of those interviews should be part of her book because she tells some real good stuff in those interviews. So yeah, I think you should.
And I'm
I
gonna
have to
say that
share.
I think this show is a hit because I'm being interrupted by everybody because they're watching the show.
That's
like,
cool.
if
Yeah, you
watching
actually
it,
were able.
You know, I'm in the middle of it. So why are you calling me? Why are you?
Yeah, I'm getting phone calls as well. But yeah, because you actually were able to pair your Facebook page, so it's actually showing.
Oh, that's sad.
Uh-huh.
I should have done
Yeah,
better.
it did happen.
I didn't know. I
No, it actually worked. You know,
So
Don, you are very.
Greg has some comments here, Crystal. You want to read them?
Oh no, well, he actually, I think he's no longer there. He actually cut off when he said that she cut off at carbs. But you know, it's interesting. Don, you are inspiring to me as well because you're absolutely
yes,
right.
She is.
Thank you.
Definitely is.
It is so important for those of us that do in whatever area of our expertise, that if we're making an impact in our areas of expertise, we definitely should record that. And I have a story I'll share with you, Don. So I teach, and this was a result just before the pandemic. I was asked to do a workshop for the new Women's Business Center. Mm-hmm. And so for the whole entire pandemic, I was doing a workshop, a series, actually, a weekly series. It was weekly series. It was 4 webinars for them. And then I was doing a QuickBooks class for them. So after the end of the series, the director asked me to come out, and she was having a graduation for some of the ladies that were participating. So I get to the door, and the person that lets me in, she goes, "Oh my God, I've been waiting to meet you. I have watched every webinar. I can recite every word." Wow. And they're actually doing the show. They're doing the same workshop that I'm doing, but they're doing it in Spanish. So, so she told me and the guy that he uses my stories in order to teach the webinar that he's teaching to his Spanish speaking audience. He says, so I have watched, because I did it for a year. So he said, so I tell all your stories.
Wow.
And I use all your little analogies, and I use everything that you do. And I'm actually teaching the classes if I'm you. I went, okay, that's interesting.
Without your workbook. That's
without my workbook.
So unless you know that your workbook is needed, your stuff is needed. Let me say this last thing, Gilbert. You're gonna be proud of me. I started a contract on Monday.
Oh, you did?
More about it. I am so excited.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I love it. You know me, I love it when women get contracts. So you getting that contract is phenomenal. Love it. Love it.
Who is the contract with? Can't tell us, huh? Well, congratulations. You can tell us the next time you come on.
Congratulations. How long is it for?
I'll tell you about it later.
How long is it for?
Can't
Don,
tell you that either.
What you say?
How long is it for? 2 years?
All the way to the end of the year. But guess what? They already told me I was coming back next year. And
that's great. That's great.
I did 3 test days. No, 2 test days.
Yes.
And they said you're coming back next year.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I love it.
But I was going to give you a call because I have some details that I have to finalize.
And Call me whenever you get a chance, man. Let's talk about it. Because my thing is, man, if we can get you to that $1 million level where you're getting contracts for that,
Since it
That's
doesn't look like
beautiful.
I'm getting married, I need $1 million. Yeah.
Don, I bet you if you have $1 million, it won't be a
She won't.
problem
She
if you
won't be
get
thinking.
married.
Well, she won't. She won't be thinking about marriage then, because then that means other people won't be claiming parts of your million. So
Right.
you'll be fine.
Oh boy. Well, I will say this for you. You have worked extremely hard and you
Yes.
deserve all the
Yes.
blessings that God has for you.
Definitely.
You
God is
are,
good. To
you,
God be all the glory for the
Yes.
things that He
yes,
allows me to do.
Yes.
He's been good.
yeah. He has
It.
been, and you work hard though. It
Yeah.
Yeah.
just didn't fall into your lap. You
Oh
work
yes.
hard for the blessings that is coming. And I'm sure there, like most of us in business, there were some challenges,
Oh,
and so you're being rewarded for those challenges that you've encountered. We always know that when we go through stuff, it's because on the other side of that stuff that we've gone through, God has a blessing and he's going to blow the doors off of those blessings to
yeah.
get to you. And so I am
Yeah.
so, like I said, I've been there. So I've been with Don for the last 10 years. I guess I've known you, or 7 years or whatever it is.
Longer than
And
that.
I've longer. Yeah. I've watched you and I've watched some struggles. But the one thing she does have is she has a very dedicated following. Everyone loves Dawn. And so whenever she puts out a call for us, we all show up, whatever that is,
Yes.
even at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Here, here are
Let me
two
say,
qualities. Here are two qualities that winners have. They have perseverance and relentlessness.
yeah,
That's what you have there, Don. You see
no
what I'm
doubt.
saying? Because you started this thing, you've been doing your thing. You know, a lot of things try to get in your way, and you overcame those things.
Yeah,
So
and I'm
this is
still
amazing.
struggling. But the
Yeah,
good news is
yeah,
there's victory in the struggle. That's James
yeah,
1. Sometimes God
yeah,
got to do see. We go through these changes because He's still doing some character building in our lives because He knows where we're
yeah.
going. He
Oh
knows
yeah,
where we're going. We don't
oh
see
yeah,
it. All this for a purpose. So
yeah,
I'm a count all joy, as James 1 says, when I face trials of various kinds, because
yeah.
the trying of my faith works patience, and patience perfection until I'm lacking in nothing. And that's
Yeah.
all I have to say.
There you go. There you go. We're
You are
happy for
awesome,
you.
awesome.
We're definitely happy for you. This is
Thank you.
great. This is great. This is great. And
Yes, it is.
the fact that you're helping to change other people's lives is just phenomenal. You know,
Thank
because
you.
like I said to you, you may not know and you may not be present, so you don't know if that's being effective. But I'm telling you, when I'm out there walking, I'm hearing your voice in the back of my head. And I'm sure I'm not the only one doing that. I'm sure there's a lot of your other clients that they're hearing. I'm sure Crystal hears your voice whenever she's walking or exercising or whatever. You see what I mean? So it
When I
happens.
hear her voice is when I'm picking up something that I know I shouldn't be eating.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when I hear her voice.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's how you know you have an impact. You know,
Right. Thank you.
when your voice is being heard by people when they're doing things.
Thank you.
Doing things
Can
they
you
shouldn't
put
be.
up my website?
I can.
Dawn Strozier. Huh?
Yeah, I will.
You
Don,
can also
so
go to my. You can also go to all of my social media. You can go to my Instagram. In the link, click the link. It takes you to my website. It takes you to my
okay.
journal link if you like to purchase. And just thank you so much.
We'll put
Hey,
it in
this
the
is
chat
great.
there. Don,
And while you're looking
uh,
that up, Crystal, you remember you asked me earlier about what percentage of women in the SBA Navigator program? Well,
mhm.
it's 64%. 64% of the enrollees are women. And we're talking of a total of 350 businesses. 350 businesses, 64% of those are women.
Wow,
Oh
because
wow.
I was saying, Don, that women
Mhm.
seem to be much more engaging and wanting to make a change and wanting to grow their businesses. And with all of the workshops and webinars and programs that we've been coaching and teaching and training in this past 2 years,
Mhm.
majority of our clients have been women. So women have really
Oh yeah.
shown that they are just dedicated to what their to their businesses and wanting to grow their businesses. And not only that, they're wanting to learn and develop and invest in themselves so that they can become better business owners. And that's what I say about Dawn. She definitely has made a lot of investments in herself and
Yeah.
in her business in order to grow her business.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome. So Dawn, this is your birthday weekend. What, you got some plans you can share with us?
Yes, I have some really, really huge plans. I can't tell you because some people may be listening. I may say the wrong thing,
but they may get hurt, huh? They may get hurt.
But you do plan on having a fabulous birthday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it starts as soon as we hang up.
and so the book is dropping tomorrow, which is actually your actual day of birth, your actual birthday, right?
Yes, tomorrow's my actual birthday. Yes.
And the book is dropping then?
What'd you say?
Is the book dropping then?
Yes, it is. You'll be able to purchase my new book, Fit to Win, Creating a Lifestyle of Winning. It's about winning in every area of your life. I'm really excited about that. I gave it all that I have. I think it's a true blessing. And my Fit to Win journal is there, also on my website. You can get, if you're over 50, or on your way to 50, get my Over 50 and Fit ebook. And at the end of the month, my 30-day jumpstart to over 50 will be available for you. I'm just rolling them out one at a time. You got to read the story first so you know what to do. And then later at the end, you can buy all the diet for 30 days and all of your workout regimen for 30 days.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. And
thank you.
It's actually running on your Facebook page, and it will be up in the Podbean. And actually, I will upload it to the Podbean network as well. So it'll be on iTunes and Google Podcasts, all of those areas. Everyone go to DawnStrozier.com and pick up your copy of her book right this minute, and get your journal so that you can start your challenge, so that you can start making sure that you are fabulous and fit over 50.
Absolutely. You can also go to my Instagram and click on my bio. There's a link there. And if this says out of stock, don't worry, pay no attention. It's available. I just got a whole bunch of books in. I just need to change that if it's still there.
Oh, okay.
Let's go ahead and
order. It's been a pleasure, Miss Dawn. You go off and have a beautiful birthday weekend, and I will sit down with you so we can work on my 20 chapters, and then reach out to Gilbert so he can help you make sure that the contract is in place.
All right.
Thank you for
having me.
Thank you for being on the Business Zone. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
I'm sure you have impacted somebody today. I'm telling you. I am telling you.
Thank you.
So for those of you who are listening to this interview, the show with Dawn, I'd like you guys to call in and tell us how she has impacted you. Let us know if her story has resonated with you at all, or if it's similar. And perhaps she will, gift you guys one of her journal so that you can track your activity as well. Right, Dawn?
Yeah. Today is the day to start. It's making sure that you're getting your body fit and fabulous for a number of reasons. One, for yourself, but as well as the fact that you want to make sure that you're healthy in the event that whatever is going to happen next winter. You just want to make sure you're healthy. So great show, amazing, Gilbert.
You know what's amazing, Crystal? She mentioned something key. She said part of the reason why she turned her life around is because she had a heart attack. And sometimes that's what it takes for us to kind of, pay attention to things that we need to pay attention to. Just like with me, I got hit with COVID and all of a sudden I'm thinking differently. I mean, before I knew better, I knew what I needed to do, but I never really did it. But then when I got hit
Uh-huh.
with COVID, I'm going, oh wow, now I got to start paying attention, so it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's even I have a pretty active lifestyle, incorporating my Zumba class, burlesque classes, and tennis, and all the things that I do, hiking and biking. But however, during the pandemic, I was sitting in front of this computer
Yeah,
in a chair, all day long, and I tell you, my body was going through all kinds of fits. I'd
yeah,
get up and I feel like I had to drag the leg with me,
yeah.
my sciatic. So I really started working. I just started a 14-day challenge, and so I'm
Oh,
feeling
good.
much better. So every day for 30 minutes, I am working out, and then I've been juicing. So as part of the 14-day challenge, I'm also I drink a power drink, a detoxing power drink with celery and kale and a ginger, and what else is in it? Green apple, as
Right.
well as lemon. And I do that every morning,
Yeah,
and I'm doing my exercise every morning. So I'm feeling really good. So,
that's
and I
good.
haven't had any leg pains this month. For a while there, it was like every month there was a new pain coming from
Yeah,
somewhere, and
yeah,
and I was dragging parts of my body.
yeah. Well, you're preparing yourself for that next balloon ride, so you can
Yeah, I
jump
am.
again there and do some good things. So this is
True
great,
that.
co-host. I really like the fact that you're doing those special things, and I'm
Yes,
sure,
I am.
there are folks listening right now going, "Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I should be doing that too. Let me start a new challenge." So I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing.
Yeah, so everybody go out there and create a challenge for yourself. Go get Don's book, Fit to Win, the journal, so you can keep track of. And that's really, really important, is being able to write down exactly. It keeps you exactly what you're supposed to eat when you're exercising, um, and your weight, because it keeps you accountable, right? You
Yeah,
feel that you have to report, even if it's to yourself, you're
yeah.
reporting. And because the biggest thing with us, my day could get sidetracked. Yesterday, I was having a hard time. My day was like, it was like back to back to back. But I had a window, an hour and a half window, and I did my 45-minute exercise right
Oh,
there
wow.
and then. And before I would answer phones or anything, I made sure I did it. And so today my day was thrown off, but I'm going to do my workout as soon as we come off the air. I'm going to do
I'm
my
I'm proud
45
of you,
minutes.
co-host. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to get old and decrepit, Gilbert, where
I know.
I can't walk. I
Yeah,
can't wear heels. I
yeah,
can't walk upstairs. I don't want
yeah.
to be that person.
I know. Well, Don was talking about Parkinson, man. That's one of my biggest scary moment there. I'm going, I don't want to get to that point where because when you get Parkinson's, man, that is crazy. You see how Muhammad Ali was, because he had it.
Mhm.
So I don't want to get to that point. Not at all.
And there's so many other things: diabetes, high blood
Yeah,
pressure,
yeah,
muscular sclerosis, all of those things that are
yeah,
sitting there, heart attacks,
yeah,
sitting there waiting around the corner for you,
yeah,
waiting for a moment when you're vulnerable.
yeah. I hear you, man. So I'm gonna have to do
All
something.
right.
I have to motivate myself now.
Yeah,
Get out
so
there.
get up there and go walk.
Yes, yes, yes. But this was a great show. Really appreciated this today. And for those of our listeners who tuned into the show, please remember to go to YouTube and hit that subscription button. You don't have to pay anything. The subscription is free. Just hit it so we can notify you and just register with the Business Zone so you can follow us and we can provide you all the information you need. And Facebook, same thing. We're on Facebook Live every week. So, and it's every Friday from 3 to 4:30. So guys, tune in to the show. If you're an entrepreneur, and if you want to test us, if you're an entrepreneur, call in and send in your messages, send in your test questions, whatever. We'll be happy to address them because we want to know what you guys are thinking.
Exactly, and as Gilbert and Don both said, between Gilbert and I both, we have a real passion for the work that we do, and we derive the pleasure from making sure that we help our business community really become successful businesses. So reach out to us. We both have a lot. This is what we live for, is to be able to help you, and we love what we're doing. That's the purpose of this show, is providing you with great information as well as great highlighting great businesses that are in our community that are doing awesome things. So tune in again next Friday at 3:00. And we are going to have a guest. Gilbert's going to bring us in a guest next week. And then the week after that, we have the amazing Miss Karen Blackwell. That lady right there. See, if you want to take your business to that next level, it was so funny. I was having a conversation with Karen the other day, and we were all talking about the businesses that we're coaching. And she says, sometimes, Crystal, it just comes down to a simple question, asking the business owners, how much money did you make last year?
Yeah, that's true. That tells you a lot about what's going on in that business. It tells you a lot.
It tells you a lot. Just how much money did you make last year? And then that is the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we're
right, everyone.
We're going to continue to help these small businesses. You need help. You make sure you call us, email us, write us, do whatever, and so we can help you.
Yep. So we're going to sign off, and we're going to see you guys next week. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. I don't know we've been doing this show for the last year, and I have not had any technical difficulties, but today was the day. So we apologize for that, but what can we say? We're online.
The man was trying to put his foot on our throat. That's what he was trying to do. It's not going to work. Not going to work. We're small businesses. We're resilient, so it's not going to happen. But anyway, folks, it's been a great show, and we'll see you guys next week at 3:00. And Crystal, on behalf of the Business Zone, Crystal and I would like to say we're out.
We're out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.